How's it going, everyone? Bo here from BZ Up, and today we're talking about sturgeon fishing. Perhaps you've been following along with our EESS of moving on between Emerald Lake, Everglades, St. Croix, and San Joaquin, four of the main places to be making quite a bit of money in Fishing Planet, and now you're finally level 34, you've unlocked San Joaquin, and you've been hearing about the amazing sturgeon fishing possibilities that you can do here. Well, today I'm going to show you 3 different ways for you to get out on the water, so hit that like button and let's get into it, everyone. Alright, here we are, San Joaquin. Honestly, doesn't matter which day you want to do this. I mean, if we take a look at the weather here, it's this weather. And if we look at nighttime, we got a little bell curve, I guess. Day 2, a little bit different. Really, if you want to know what I prefer, it's this day 5 down here, where you kind of see this gradual incline. It gives us a lot of time to hop. And you'll see that it's a big thing with sturgeon fishing. You're gonna need to catch like 3 or 4 fish, hop to another time and catch 3 or 4 fish, and keep moving on like that. So the better the time, the longer amount of time that we have to catch a lot of fish, the more fish we're going to catch, essentially. So day 5, day 6, these are gonna be your main days. You'll want to be going after the fish, and that's not exactly day 5 and 6 all the time. I'm talking about this particular curve right here. Real quick, obviously skip ahead a little bit if you don't care. I'm just showing you kind of things because you are going to be at San Joaquin for such a long time before you head to Weeping Willows or Blue Crab. Even then, there are a great range of rods and reels you're going to be using here, but I do think that by the end of it, you're going to be using something like these Heavy Chaser 10-foot 10s or 10-foot 2s, along with the Leviathan 10,000s or something like that. Leviathan, the word always just gets me. It just confuses me. Anyway, here we go. I think it's a good little set here. We got the max drag setup with all 3 of these rods. These is going to be your setup as you're catching fish and you're starting to make more money, because the sturgeon will make you a lot of money. Eventually you'll have a cool setup like this where you'll have 3 rods out catching a lot of sturgeon. But I wanted to get you some options here. So when you get San Joaquin for the first time, one of the first bottom rods you're going to be able to unlock is this bottom sniper 10-foot 10 with a Mega Tank 6000. If it's not 10-foot 10, it's something similar to that. The bottom sniper is the biggest part you need to remember. It's the bottom sniper bottom rod. I have got a Mega Tank 6000 on here trying to get that max drag together. And then because these sturgeon like to swim around on the bottom and take things off the bottom, so it's important to try that. Though I will say, if you have been fishing at St. Croix and going after some of those pike, you might have a pretty strong match rod by now, including this Brutus 9-foot 10 here. And what we're gonna do is we're honestly going to make this leader pretty long, and all we're gonna try to do is get that bait to sit down on the bottom where we're trying to fish for these sturgeon, and it should work out just fine. So let's go ahead and get out on the water now. I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead get into number 1 here. This is honestly the easiest way to go ahead and farm these sturgeon. Oh, lots of fish here. Striped bass most likely. Overshot it a little bit, but here we are, right on this little peninsula here. So you can see we pretty much drove straight from the docks over to the right here. You can't even see it on the little map they drew. So obviously switch the time to night, because that's when we're going to be fishing for these sturgeon. I'm just gonna, well, let's just try here. Might not have as many fish just because it's kind of a poor day. Let's go ahead and set out our rod stand. We have our 3 rods, 3 bottom rods here. Honestly, all we're going to do is toss out just about yay far. Feel free to clip it off if you want to. I always think throwing this short distance kind of messes with it being on a clip. Kind of like hits it and like bounces back and you cast even shorter than you want. But this is really the spot. If you want to picture those sturgeon following along the edge, this drop off here is pretty pretty substantial. So yeah, we already have bites going on because this spot is on fire. I'm throwing out all these rods just to get the sturgeon going, and I'm gonna go ahead and lift one up here. We're gonna try to reel him in as fast as possible, and if not, we're gonna have to start juggling. Now we're juggling 3. This guy's coming in fast though. Come on now. There we go. Got one 2700. Back to rod number 2 now. Another 3100 there. Come on, man. Come on, come on, come on. Switch over. He nil. Goodness gracious. Thought we were gonna lose it there. Okay, we got him. That was rather hectic, but it all worked out, did it not? Top notch, 48 pounds, $3,300. So you can see here, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, are we making a ton of money right now? Right now, it doesn't really seem like it. We just made $9,275, but we have to realize is that we caught $9,275 in about 3 minutes of game time. So if you want to multiply that times a half hour or something, that's $90,000 that you're gonna make in a half hour playing Fishing Planet for White Sturgeon. Because all we're gonna do is switch on over to this time now, and we're gonna throw out our rods yet again. All I'm doing is switching times. People like to say that you don't even have to throw it out this far. I just like to keep a little bit of realism involved. Some people will be like, oh yeah, just throw in the shallow right here and then you'll lift them straight up. And if you want to do that, go ahead. But this at least lets me feel like I'm actually fishing for something and it's like traveling along the edge here, rather than just like sticking it right here in the shallow and watching the fish just like jump on like an arcade game. Okay, here we go again. One fish on anyway. There's our second fish, good deal. Now if you haven't heard me say it before, if you got multiple rods going, I like to say that it's kind of like telling the game that we're interested in the fish. If you don't pick up the rod, the game might just like, just kick the fish off because it just thinks that you don't want it. Kind of, I mean, that's just how I like to picture it. So I always say if you're interested in the fish, go ahead, switch out your rods with the one in the rod holder just to let the game know that you are interested in reeling that fish in, and then honestly you can reel it for 3 seconds and put it back down. Otherwise, it always feels like that initial bite when the alarm goes off goes by much quicker than in the fight. But I have noticed that the fight changes with different fish, and the sturgeon with the beluga and the white sturgeon and stuff, they seem to be fairly long. Got them in the low 20s, I'm not sure. There we go, 54 pounds, good deal. That's a good size one. $3,700 there, 801 XP. I'm still waiting for this middle rod to take off. I might give it a few minutes just to see if it finally does. But if you're being impatient, if you're feeling impatient, look at this. We got, for one day out here, we've been fishing for 6 minutes now. We've made $15,000. Not bad at all. You move on to the next day, you're still catching fish, having a great time. All right, getting out just to get the rods up. That is how you get your rods up real quick if you want to change time. And now we're gonna switch on over to here. All right, so option number 2. Here we go. You're first coming to San Joaquin for the first time. You've got your first bottom rod, the bottom sniper, 10-foot-10. Is it possible? Is it possible to catch one of these bad boys with this? Let's find out. We're gonna do it from the bank. This might be awful. I honestly don't know. Oh, that's a fish on. Ooh, he's gonna beach himself too. Oh, couldn't have asked for much easier. Now I did say, I will say, I didn't say anything. I will say, I only have a 4-aught hook on this one, whereas I was using 5-aughts on the other one. I thought I'd start with 4-aughts on this smaller rod, just to see if it would be a pain to reel these guys in. Well, I guess that shows that caviar bait works too. Spawn sacks are usually the bait to go. Probably should have said that in the beginning. Waiting for that rod tip to move. See the line moving. There we go, okay. I'm confident, that's a bite, that's a bite. Taking it out to 50 now, all right, this is kind of what I expected. Ooh, got one going on the match rod now. All right, 36 pound, $2,565 now. Now, in the grand scheme of things, did that seem that much longer than some of the other ones? I don't know, maybe a little bit. Would you want to deal with 3 of these rods at the same time? Maybe not, but it was still good, and we caught him. We made 2,500 bucks. We had one on the match rod. I still don't know how that thing broke off. I was sure that everything was set up correctly, but that was interesting. All right, so that's number 2 there. Anyway, still showed it off using your easy rod. The first one you unlock when you go to San Joaquin. That's a way to go about it. This time, I'm gonna show you number 3 here. I think this is honestly a pretty decent way to go about it. We're gonna go back. All right, number 3, here we go. We're moving along. We're getting in the old kayak. If you don't have your own bass boat or, fancy boat, when you finally come into San Joaquin, don't worry about it for a second. You can rent a kayak and do this very same thing. In fact, by doing this and renting the kayak, you'll probably be able to afford your own kayak within some time. Though I will say, if you haven't made enough money to buy a kayak or something of the sort by fishing for the pike at St. Croix, then you might be messing something up. But I'm telling you now, you'll be able to buy a kayak by the end of this. Alright, so we're going out in the kayak, going back to our spot, but instead of moving, what we're gonna do, everyone, I will say I think there's a little bit of a current involved with this area, but we're gonna take out, let's start with the match rod this time. Ooh, bro, you seen that? Yep. We got him. Look, that was so awesome. That was so cool. He came up out of the water like a crocodile and then went back down and grabbed it. Oh, that was sweet. Okay, top notch. Well, that wasn't too hard. Yeah, threw out the match rod. It all worked out. Okay, all right. So that was another way you can go about it. Go throw with a match rod in there. I want to try this too, because I feel like this could work, though I feel like with the current, we're going to end up going right back to that spot. I'm going to throw out the bottom rod, see if we can get one in the same spot. That's what I'm curious. Now, you might have been wondering earlier why I had the little simple bell on there if we were putting it in the stand with the alarms. Well, it was because of this moment right here. Once we get a bite, that alarm should go off, even though we're holding it. So, I'm curious. We'll just see. Ooh. It's messing, man. Got a little jingle there. There we go. He's on, and we're off. We're off to the races. See how he's pulling us with him? Oh no, we might get pulled over here. No, we got him. Look, that was easy. Bro, 34 pounds, $2,400. There you go. Okay. So, wrap it up here. Does it work? Obviously it works. Look at our amazing fish here. Caught some monsters today. This isn't a very big one, but the point is, what can you do? Here's number 1. You can go out there. Obviously, the standard protocol. Take your 3 rods, your 3 strongest rods that you have, put them in the stand, and hit that one spot over and over again. Catch 3 fish. Move to another time, catch another 3 fish, catch 4 fish, whatever you want to do. Continue to do that. That is what we call the sturgeon grind. I mean, that is the real grind. You're doing that over and over and over again until you level up high enough to go to blue crab or to, weeping willows, whatever you want to do. Secondly, truly, was me trying to show you that if you don't have those 3 rods, obviously, you can go out there with your bottom sniper and you can hit those guys. You can snipe them. They're in the bottom, and just with one bottom sniper. And that's certainly something you can do. You don't need to have these fancy, heavy rigs. You don't need to buy any DLCs. All you need to do is buy the bottom sniper when you unlock San Joaquin. Come out here and catch those fish. Now, number 3 is obviously giving that match rod a try. If you have those match rods, the Brutus, like we showed off in the beginning there, if you have those match rods from St. Croix catching those pike, then come back here, throw it out there with a long leader. Doesn't matter if your bobber is tipped over or not, showing that your bait is on the bottom and you have a lot of line. That doesn't matter. What the point is you need to have your bait on the bottom so that those sturgeon can come and grab it. And that's really going to be the big kicker there. 3 different ways for you to do it. If you want to get into a kayak to make the fight a little bit easier when you don't have, you know, 3 rods set up or all that. If you want to go out with your match rod or your bottom rod, get in that kayak, make the fight a little bit shorter, go ahead and do that. But I hope this was interesting. I hope it was helpful. If it was, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos in the future, of course, and check us out on our live streams every Monday, Wednesday, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Central. Come by, say hi. You know it. You know how it is on YouTube, everybody. We'll see you there. Hopefully you catch some biggins in the future. And that's it. Take care. And as always, remember, everyone, we're one planet, one family. Game on.